How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is Eddie Star Tarot, and today I'll be doing a reading for the zodiac sign Libras. Yes, we got Libras. Today, you guys, I'm going to do something different for you guys. I'm obviously doing this reading on Saturday, but this is going to start being a Friday occurrence for us. I'm going to start doing spiritual reads on Friday. And I'm doing this, you guys, to get us through the ascension process, also to help us to be more enlightened. And I'm dedicating my Fridays to doing that for you guys. I'm going to be using two different decks. I may or may not get into the second one, but I will start with the Secret Language of Light, and then the second one is the White Light Oracle. You guys, I'm going to first, before I get started on the reading, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about myself, why I do what I do, why I read the way that I read. And my story is about what I've overcome and stuff like that. This is why I talk about what I talk about. You guys, I always equate this back to my early childhood. It's what made me who I am today. My childhood was there was my trials and tribulations, as I say, or the problems began in my life at an early age, and it is because of how I grew up. I went through an immense amount of abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, spiritual abuse. The unfortunate thing is that it started out with my parents, and then it went into another household, and another household after that. It became something that was the norm for me. I believe that my original parents knew that I had some gifts, or that I had something different about me, but it was never nurtured and it was never helped. I kind of knew that there was something different because the way that I would think about things and the way that I picked up on stuff, but I was never given the opportunity to nourish it, and I was never given the opportunity to shine my light. I actually felt as though a lot of the people were trying to dim my light, and they were effective at it. I say all that, you guys, because what had taught me is how to be in fear. It taught me how to distrust people. It taught me how to be angry and aggressive and mean. And it stole my light, right? It stole my smiles, as I say. After that, you guys, like I said in many different readings today, is that what it taught me is how to be in survival mode. It taught me how to survive situations, but it didn't teach me how to live. Survival will teach you coping mechanisms that can teach you how to do something quickly, but it's not sustainable. One of those coping mechanisms that I learned at an early age, which was the age of 15, was I picked up alcohol. And one of the things that I had said when I first did it was, I said it to myself, of course, is how the hell did I live my life without this? And how would ever live another day with not having it? So I already approached this substance with an alcoholic mind. That is the alcoholic mindset. So it was only a matter of time until I found it where I was going to be alcoholic, right? And that's because of, well, one is genetics and stuff like that, but it's because of what had happened before, right, in my childhood. The thing is that it's not something that's sustainable, but I tried to sustain it as long as possible, and I did. I struggled with alcoholism and drug addiction from the age of 15 all the way up to the age of 33. And I tell you, it was a struggle. It zapped me of a lot of energy, and I feel as though it stunted my growth. It stunted my spiritual growth, to be more specific. Let's fast forward to my early 20s, is when I was in the military. I feel like this was the nail in the coffin for me, the deciding factor of me. It just zapped me. The military taught me discipline, but it also stole from me. It stole energy, as well as going to Afghanistan. It changed my mind, my perspective, and it really enhanced fear, stress, distrust. And when it was all said and done, you guys, I had finally come to a place where I knew I didn't want to be here anymore. I was tired, and I succumbed to, this is where I say I succumbed to alcohol and drug addiction in a full manner. And it was a short amount of time before I got to a place where I dissolved my life. It was deterioration at its worst. And I got to the place where, let's just fast forward to 33 when I got sober. Like I said before in other readings, is that I had tried to get sober before, but I had always been doing it for someone else, or I was trying to get out of trouble, or I was trying to be in a place where I was getting people off my back. The unfortunate thing about that, you guys, is that I wasn't doing it for me. This last time it was for me, but it was because not of my choice. I feel like it was God's divine intervention that got me into a place where I was homeless. I had burned every bridge. No one wanted to deal with me at that point. I had literally become the worst that I had become. The wheels had fallen off at that point. I had taken that thing all the way to the end, right? It was the bottom of the pit. And I had finally just released what dignity and pride I had left, which was too much even at that state. I finally gave in, and then I got into a place where I let and allowed other people to love me and help me. And so fast forward for 6 months. I got sober January 20th of 2020. 6 months later, I had my spiritual awakening. It's where all this magical stuff started to happen. It's where I feel like my awakening or my ascension process had started. And that is my story. That's the gist of it. Obviously, I'm here today and I'm reading cards, and there's many things that happen in between, but it seems like my story gets told within this in this process, so I'm just going to allow Spirit to take over. I'm going to start off, you guys, with the Secret Language of Light deck, and let's get started. Tauruses, you know a little bit about me. No, that's not Taurus. I'm sorry, you guys, Libras. All right, Libras. Spirit, what do we have for Libras today? Dang. What did I talk about letting your light shine? Dang, let your light shine. Do we got some leaders up in this house, Libras? Do we have people here who are meant to put their work out there? Are there people who have gone through some crazy shit in life and now are being asked to do something more with their life? We have inner voice. We have wellness. And we have insight. I'm going to take all four of them. Okay, guys. So let's start out with let your light shine. That's an amazing card, is it not? This is being true to yourself, you guys. This is following your heart. And when I see this card, you guys, I talk about this the most on my channel, because I believe this is what we are meant to do on this earth, is to shine our light. When you shine your light for another human being, it can look a little differently for each person, but it's being true and authentic to who you are, yourself, right? It has to happen in this space, in your heart space. How does that happen? How do we do that? First of all, you have to figure out, you have to do the healing work, right? You have to get into this place, and we've talked about this before, Libras, where you have to, and I feel like what's going on in these other cards is some of the steps that need to be taken to let your guys' light shine. So let's talk about it. One of them is wellness. Wellness, you guys. Libras, this comes up a lot for you guys. You guys, I feel like, are very, very insightful. That's one of the cards here, but you guys are very emotional beings. Libras, unfortunately, your guys' zodiac sign, one of the hardest things for you guys to overcome, and I understand this completely because I am with you on this. Me being an alcoholic, one of the things, the traits that we have is the obsession of the mind. That means that I will obsess about things. It is before I had the awakening, before I got sober, the obsession was about alcohol. My obsession was about how do I free myself from feeling pain. That was what I was obsessed on. Now I use this obsession about my work. I use my obsession on high vibrational things. So I've transmuted something that was negative into a positive. That's part of the process. In this Libras, what I'm getting, and it comes up a lot for you guys, and what's difficult for you guys as well, is that you guys are in the mind space a lot. When you guys are in low vibrations, you guys depict, you're very intellectual, you guys will depict the shit out of situations. The unfortunate thing is that that obsession can drive you guys crazy sometimes. Also, the problem is that you guys are here, but you need to be in here, the heart space. That is your true power, your true essence. Your mind is a beautiful love child, man. It's a beautiful place to be at. But you need to go 12 inches below and be in your heart. When you guys start to be in your heart, that's where this wellness becomes something more. And it is a go without saying, you guys, that there's a sword here. This sword to the heart. The sword in tarot is your guys' sign. Is an air sign. It's communicating with you. Your heart is communicating something to you, Libras. So it's time for you guys. I know you're beautiful. I know you're intelligent, but you need to be in here. This is a higher intelligence. It entails you to focus on something outside of yourself. And this comes up a lot for you guys. Your wellness isn't dictated on other human beings. Your wellness is inside of you. If you're worried about what others think of you, that is the first problem. And one of the things that keeps showing up for the Libras or showing up on my channel is that you guys are overly concerned about love matters. And that is distracting you from being your truest self, letting your light shine. Libras, you guys are my healers. You guys are my channelers. You guys are intuitive, psychic beings. But right now, the Libras that are showing up on my channel, not all of you, but a lot of you guys, are using your guys' insights, your gifts in the lower vibrations, in the lower chakras, because you guys are in what I call survival mode still. Surviving isn't living. Survival is not sustainable as well, you guys. It helps us to develop codependency. And I feel like one of the codependency problems that you guys are having issues with is your heart space. It's because you guys are dependent on other people's energy, and that stuff is not sustainable because people are going to catch on to it sooner or later. Also, being a Libra, you guys are intellectual. You guys know how to manipulate very beautifully. That's an unfortunate thing, though, you guys. You know how I'm able to spot it? I spot it because I got it. My intellect, I can be able to transform a situation and manipulate it in ways that's unheard of. It's terrible. It is something I have to check on a daily basis. I have to check on what I'm saying and what I'm doing. Am I doing it from a place of my heart or my mind or my ego? Right? I always have to differentiate that. Something that it's a daily process, and maybe something that you guys have to look on. One of the things here is codependencies I'm getting heavily, so be careful because it's affecting your wellness. Also, it is how you're perceived in perception and how others perceive you. This world is finite. How you're perceived does not matter. It matters to a certain degree, but if it rules your world, it is something that's affecting your wellness. One of the things, you guys, is your inner guidance system, your inner voice. I feel like a lot of you guys are listening to it, but there is something to be said about you guys listening to that inner voice system right now, right? Your inner voice system is trying to get you guys to a next stage. I'm getting 3 stages. Your inner voice is telling you about your mind, your body, and your spirit. So with that being said, you guys, how do we listen to our inner voice? It's your intuition. So developing your intuition is the first thing. Also, your inner voice, you guys, comes from your higher self. You have to listen to, and maybe your inner voice is asking you guys to be on this journey, to letting your guys' light shine. And I feel like some things that you guys are listening to, but some things you're not. And one of them I feel like is your insight. Your insight is literally your inner voice system at play. Your insight on the world and what you guys are meant to just bring people out of darkness. You guys are meant to help other people, but right now you're being asked to heal. You don't have to heal everything, you guys, to let your guys' light shine. But this entails, in order for you to let your light shine, you have to do this healing. You have to be in this place, you guys, where you guys are living your truth. You can't live your truth if you're too dependent on another person, right? Also, the insight that you guys have is outstanding. It's resilient. Let's read out of the book, you guys, real quick on insight. Insight is number 13. It says, refine your psychic senses. What did I say, you guys? You guys are very psychic, Libras. The powers that you guys have are astronomical. What you guys can bring to the world is amazing. Make sure, and going back to the sword, and I say it like this, you guys, make sure you have a choice what you want to do with your power. Do you want to wield your sword to hurt other people, to wield it to control, or that is another issue with someone who's always in the mind space. You guys are figuring out how to dominate situations, how to be in a higher position, when in actuality that makes you weak. It drains you. It's not sustainable. Like I've told you in my story, these things are not sustainable. You're going to find someone who outwits you. You're going to bring someone in your karmic experience who outwits you and brings you to a place that's how God does it. As intelligent as I was, is how smart I thought I was, God still brought me to my knees, and I needed to be. I thank God every day to be humbled, because it taught me the first early stages of letting go of my pride and ego. That's what I needed to call into my place. Don't get yourself into that position, because it's a difficult place. It hurts, man, I'll tell you that. But there's many lessons within it. But going back to that sword, you can wield it to defend others, or you can wield it to hurt others. It's your decision what you want to do with your insight, your gifts. So make sure if you make a decision, you can't walk both lines. If you're trying to let your light shine, but in the cutties or in the cuts, as they say up in the hood, if you guys are doing things that you guys are not, you're not supposed to be doing with your power, you guys can't let your guys' light shine. God will not allow it. God, there are certain things. When I say God, you guys don't get offended. God is universe. God is creator, depending on how you want to look at God. But there is a system that we have to follow. There's spiritual principles, ethics, codes that we have to abide by being a being of the light, right? It says you are or about to see further, higher, deeper through space and time. Your psychic skills are expanding and seeing through the lens of your soul. Hone your abilities by reading about or doing a workshop on intuitive development. Maybe you guys are starting your own channel. Maybe you guys are starting your own work. Or maybe you guys will do well by starting a workshop. It says, we are all psychic. It is part of who we are. But we have to thrust this ability into the background in favor of other senses. Problems occur when we keep looking at the manifested world for proof of our worth. I've been saying this all day, you guys. You guys looking at other people for your worth is the hardest thing. I understand this on a deep level, you guys. I've been seeking validation since my childhood. My mommy didn't love me enough. My daddy didn't love me enough, so I have mommy and daddy issues. And I'm trying to look for my mommy in other women. And unfortunately, that doesn't work. And every man that I look, every man that comes into my reality, I had come from a place of, it's my abusive father, so I'm going to have to show him something, right? But I didn't come from a place where I was accepting the understanding of another human being in the male aspect because of it. You see how those things can actually hinder us? So, and also seeking validation and from the external factors, you have to remember not everyone is healed. A lot of the time you guys are bringing other unhealed people, and you guys it's like the blind leading the blind at the end of the day. It doesn't work. It says, you are worthy because you are here. There is nothing to prove. You could become an intuitive reader if this is something you desire. It could also mean you are learning to trust what you feel, and the next steps to take will drop into your mind in the following days. Yeah, so I feel like after this read, you guys, I feel like you guys, it's going to set you on a new course. So actually, I feel like it's going to be a short read for you guys. I'm going to read Let Your Light Shine, and we are going to call it a read, actually. 45. You guys go check out the other readings as well. There is a lot of information that has come out in each reading, and so if you guys at the very least go look up your rising and your your moon sign. It says, let your light shine. Be authentic. Today, embrace your uniqueness. Say to yourself, I am so pleased and honored to be me. Embrace the parts of you that may feel a little strange. They feel this way because you resist experiencing the fullness of you. We can all feel a little odd or peculiar at times, longing to be like everyone else and just fit in. But compromise breeds resentment. Locking yourself into the pretense of what others want will struggle your soul and split you into two. Accept yourself. Set yourself free from judgment and what you perceive others think about you. Let your soul shine outward and inspire others to connect. Embrace and shine their truth. When we are aligned with our soul, we feel loved and satisfied. We no longer need others to lean on to fill our perceived voids or to be different to who they are. Instead, we want to be with others for the pure joy of it. Create new ways towards anything that is of interest to you. Can you feel relief wash over you? You are beautiful. Damn, son. It don't get no better than that. Let's leave it at that. You guys, let your guys' light shine, man. You guys are enough. You guys are always enough, and you always will be enough. God made you perfect the way that you are. Be your most authentic self. You do not need anyone else's validation. You're already validated by the Most High. All you have to do is align yourself to who you are. Look at yourself from a higher perspective, a higher light. Who is your divine self, right? And then align yourself to it. I'm going to leave you guys' read there, Libras. I will catch you in today's daily read. Give me a thumbs up, you guys. Make sure to reciprocate the energy. Help my channel to grow. Other people need to hear this. And make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.